Hello and welcome back. You are either an existing sim racer or you're looking to get into sim racing. There's so much to know, so much to get involved with, and you're trying to figure out why it's getting so expensive.
Now you can limit that. It might seem like your rig will never be enough. There'll always be a new wheelbase, a new wheel, even new pedals, or just a more solid rig.
Or maybe even just more screens. What we're going to try and do in this video is narrow down where you should spend your money, what you're going to need, and in what order you should upgrade your equipment. So that being said, let's go through the 5 most important things to upgrade on your rig in order of importance and how they're going to affect your sim racing capabilities and also your enjoyment of the sport. So the rig is really the most important upgrade you're ever going to make. It's the first upgrade you should make because it's going to allow you to make all the upgrades in the future. So you're going to be able to put load cell pedals on, you're going to be able to upgrade to a direct drive, and you'll be able to support all your other attachments that you're going to need in the future when you get more and more invested. If you cheap out on the rig in the first stage, you're only going to end up needing to replace it to get something that's nice and solid. It doesn't have to be 80/20, but it has to be something that's going to be able to hold everything you're going to need in the future. If you think about it, sim racing is trying to provide all the forces that you would experience in a real car. Now when you brake in a real car, that is going to be an 80 kilogram pedal at least, if not more. When you're fighting the wheel, you're going to be fighting some serious forces depending on the grip of the cars you're in. So if you don't have a solid rig, you're never going to be able to get those forces to be replicated. So next you're going to want to go for some load cell pedals. Now a load cell is a bit different to a normal sensor. Instead of measuring a position, it measures a force. Now you've got a rig that can support load cell pedals, you want to make the most of them. Load cell pedals are better than normal pedals because what they're going to allow you to do is use your muscle memory to brake, so that way you don't have to constantly think about the position of your feet. This will then allow braking to become second nature to you, so you can be more consistent lap after lap, and instead of having to worry about how far you're pressing that pedal, your muscle will just know what the right amount is to brake. The wheelbase. Luckily for you, you've come into sim racing at the right time. The previous 10 years has been dominated by mostly belt-driven systems. There were some very expensive direct drives coming onto the market, but nowadays you can pick up direct drives for around £400 and going up, which obviously is still a lot of money, but compared to what you would used to have to spend for a direct drive, it's almost 10 times cheaper than what it used to be. Now direct drives feel amazing. They'll be able to give you the best feedback out of any system that's available on the market. Now there's lots of different direct drives and lots of different companies that are out there. If you're new to racing or sim racing for that matter, I'd stick to a wheelbase below 12 Newton meters. You don't know if you're going to need all that force, and for most people over 12 Newton meters is just overkill. If like me, you've been racing before and you love sim racing, then I would go up to 20-25 Newton meters just so you can get all the force that you could possibly want. Just know that you won't be able to run these at full force for too long because they will tire you out. These direct drive bases are seriously strong. We all start off sim racing with one screen, 16:9 aspect ratio where you can't really see very much and you feel like you're looking for a window onto a racetrack. Now, you can upgrade from here. You have a few options. You can go into VR, triple monitors, or a super ultra wide monitor. These 3 options all have their own pros and cons. Triple monitors is regarded as probably the best solution, however it does require the most space. VR is obviously the most space effective, however you can get dizzying effects and it can be uncomfortable and sweaty after a long time. The super ultra wide is a nice balance. It doesn't give you the dizzying effects of the VR, but also doesn't require as much space as the triple monitors. It's also going to be slightly easier to run as it has to push less pixels, but it is going to be slightly less immersive than the other 2 options. Number 5, the haptics, the last thing to upgrade. Now you guys probably thought I was going to say the wheel, but no, haptics do so much more for me than a wheel does. So you have a few options. You have butt kickers and you also have some pedal reactors. With the integration of a free piece of software called SimHub, you can pull out effects like road bumps, vibrations, traction loss, ABS, and you can feel all of these vibrations through the sim. Now these are nowhere near as expensive as a full motion sim, but it will increase your level of immersion tenfold, something a wheel could never do. These extra added effects will trick your mind into thinking it's in the seat of a real car. It's going to increase your immersion and probably increase your speed as well as you forget about the real world and dive deeper into the sim. Now, if you'd like a guide or more information on to which specific products I'd recommend purchasing at different price levels, I'm more than happy to make that video. So if you drop it in the comments what sort of price range you're looking at, or if you would like some more advice on what sort of products you should be looking into, I'd be happy to make that in the next video. If you did enjoy the content from today's video, a like and a subscribe would be massively appreciated. And if you want to drop any comments about certain content you want to see in the future, that would be fantastic. I'll see you in the next one.